Hi there, good noon, and welcome to our seventh part of the series where we go ahead and get acquainted with the kind of questions that get asked in Maharashtra CET all the time. So let's dive into that. But before I take you to the question, here is something for you to think over. I don't know whether you think along these lines or not, but I read this fabulous little book which talked about this force called resistance and how that resistance prevents us from doing things which are really meaningful. So, in a way, that resistance, that fear, can be used as a guiding light for things which are actually important, actually meaningful in our daily life. So, go ahead and do that. And one of the things that a lot of us fear is the result, the test itself. So the very first step that you can actually take is to go ahead and write the All India Open Mock Maharashtra CET. The window opened on 19th of February. It has already been 3 days. So in case you have already sat for it, great. Do let me know how the experience was. In case you missed out on it, it's all right. Go ahead. You still have 3 more days to go after today. And hopefully you'd be able to appear for it within this particular window. So with that, let's dive in. We know the tentative dates so far are still 9th and 10th of March, but when it comes to Maharashtra CET, anything can happen. The last year's experience was pretty unsettling. And here are the targets, and here is the help that we have brought to help you move closer to that target. Okay, and specifically, if I talk about the overview, in case you're attending it right now, 150 minutes, 200 questions. There are +1 and no negative marking, and the entire paper is divided into 5 distinct areas, so to say, or these 4 distinct areas, so to say. The total number of questions that I've written under each, just treat it as a guiding principle. Do not treat them as absolutes. For that matter, the sections may not even be separated in the paper. Okay, it can be just one single jumble of all the exams. So here is, and specifically if I talk about varc, we have reading comprehension, we get grammar, we get vocab, we get fill in the blanks, and we have para jumbles. So let's dive into the very first segment of our practice today. So let's read the directions once. So you are given 5 sentences. When these 5 are properly sequenced, they form a coherent paragraph. So this is basically going to be a para jumble question for you. So why are we starting with para jumbles? Whenever I used para jumbles over the last couple of sessions, I noticed that the accuracy rate of people was relatively on the lower side. So let's just see now, let's just check. So let's focus on that. Suddenly I think the floor above has started some construction, so you may pick up some sound, some noise, but let's work within that. So let us start with our very first question. Here it is on your screen. Start sharing your answers. Okay, so this is a question where I can go with the majority and the answer is indeed D. Is it the best possible way of arranging these sentences? No, but out of all the options that are present to you, this is going to be the best one. So I think a lot of you have figured out EB, the correction of EB. Now some of us have preferred C, where you're starting with E. The study of intelligence has led to, yeah. Prior to that, we need to talk about the fact that people wanted to study it and define what it is. So C definitely needs to be put before E and B, otherwise this won't really work. So that's why option C can be ruled out. Okay, so that's where I think option D is going to be the best answer choice for us. Here is the next question for you. Question number 2 on your screen. Go ahead and give it a shot. Okay, so I think my sound got cut out for a brief while. So I said E and B are connected together because of furthermore in the previous question. So that E plus B was available in only one answer choice, and therefore that made my job easy. And I think most of you have also picked up on that, or maybe on some other clues, in order to arrive at option B. So here is the next one. Okay, so I think when you look at this period, the only sentence that can give you a noun to refer to for this period has to be B. 14th to the 14th to the 17th century. So B and A must come together, which is there in only one option. So can we put E before A? Absolutely. I mean, can you put E right next to B? You can. I won't have much of a problem with it. But then the problem is, where would you put A then? You need to have a noun to refer to in the sentence that comes immediately before. So B and A cannot be separated. And that is why the best answer here should be option B. So that's about our parajumbles. I think a lot of you would already have seen that A and D are connected. So D basically gets more specific in the same idea that A actually went ahead and talked about. So with that, let's dive into our next set of questions. So the next three are fill in the blanks. You'd find a sentence with 2 blanks. You need to look at the options and choose the best one for that blank. So here you go. Question number 4 on your screen. So what will you choose for question number 4? Okay, C it is. I'm also getting a little, some B's, so let us see. The company's commitment to innovation has resulted in the development of outdated products. So if you have commitment to innovation, why will your products be outdated? Does not go with the idea. And then if they're outdated, how will they cater to the evolving industry needs? So both the words are also contradicting each other. Right? When you innovate, you don't come up with experimental products, you come up with new products, novel products. So, if I were to compare C with D, C will still be superior. So does innovation lead to experimental? Experimental does not have that kind of positive connotation that we think it has. Okay, so C should be the best answer here. And with that, let me dive into the next question. It's there on your screen. Go ahead and share your answer with me. Are we okay with the Sahil? Are we okay with awareness in the second blank? First blank leadership, I can still make peace with that, but enhance awareness of what? So what is this sentence talks about? It discusses the positive outcomes of the company's commitment to ethical practices and social responsibility. So if you commit to ethical practices, if you take your social responsibility seriously, what happens? Will you build a hierarchy? No. Reputation? Yes. Structure? No. Workforce? No. Leadership? Yes. So I think if I look at just the first blank, I'd be left with only B and E. And in the second blank, trust is more consistent with ethical practices than awareness. And therefore, moreover, enhanced awareness will not even make grammatical sense here. Enhanced awareness of what? Without that, the idea remains incomplete, and therefore I think E should be eliminated and B should be chosen. Here is the next question for you. So absolutely spot on. The best answer choice is indeed option D, and since no other option has been taken up, I think we can actually pause here. Here is the next question set for you. Is the next question, in fact. So what do you have? You have a word which is followed by 5 options. In each of the options, you'd find a pair of words. Now, if that pair of words is a synonym, or if both those words are synonyms of the given word or antonyms of the given word, or if one of them is a synonym, the other one an antonym, then you choose that as your answer. Otherwise, if any of those two words is unrelated to the word given to you, you can ignore that answer, you can eliminate that answer. So here is the question for you. And the clock is ticking. Okay, let me shut the timer off and get into the question. And you're absolutely right. The answer is, okay, this is actually an odd one out. So the answer is A. Unfortunately, I think I retained the directions from some other question. Let's have a quick look. The other 4 are all. So this is more of an odd word out. Some of us have picked up C. So let's look at the meaning of C. Lithe. Lithe is used for a normally for a person's body. So if a person has a very thin, supple and graceful body, so that supple, flexible body, then you'd call that person lithe. So flexible, supple, lithe, elastic are all synonyms, whereas irrevocable is not even linked with the other 4 words. Irrevocable simply means something that cannot be changed, something that cannot be reversed, final. हाँ, वो देखा वो अमिताभ बच्चन की कौन सी मूवी थी, K3J है ना, बस बोल दिया तो बोल दिया, हाँ, क्या कह दिया तो कह दिया. So that kind of a thing, that gives that finality, that is irrevocable. So here is the next question for you. The directions are present right here, so answer it alongside. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. The correct answer is option E. So let's look at it. The word concerted basically means coordinated, okay, something which is jointly arranged. Then exigent. Exigent is something which is urgent, pressing, demanding. Quixotic is extremely idealistic, unrealistic, and impractical. Okay, so it's a higher degree of idealistic. Okay, so it's extremely idealistic, so much so that you'd call it impractical. And because the meaning is idealistic, you know, C and D are going to be your synonyms. B and D don't really have any relationship there, and therefore they can be skipped. Okay, and with that, now let me test you on fill in the blanks, but more from a grammar and logic end than from just the vocabulary end. So here is your question number 9 to 11. So you have a blank, and then there are 5 options. Every option gives you different phrases, and you have to pick up the best one of the lot. Okay, so here you go. That's question number 9. Go ahead and tell me what you think. Okay, Manu, I see that. All right, so I think this being in A is wrong. Would shows that it was something that was supposed to happen in the past but did not happen. However, the rest of the sentence tells you it is in present, and therefore even B can be eliminated, and C is absolutely correct, as most of you have anyway identified. So you guys have become good at grammar, huh? Here is the next one. Question number 10 on your screen. Manu is on fire today, huh? First one off the blocks consistently. Is C grammatically correct? Tejas? To played. You either say to be played or you say to play. We could have eliminated at this juncture itself. Of course, it does not even make much sense in terms of idea, but the grammar definitely helps us rule that out. Sir, the best one. So B is grammatically incorrect. In A, beside does not make sense. Beside basically means in addition to. So the idea will not really be consistent with in addition to. Rani Rampal is expecting high intensity action beside the fact that she is recovering from injury. Sorry, sorry, beside is not. Why am I making this mistake? Beside basically means next to, you know, to the left or right of something. So this makes no sense here and can be ruled out. So the best answer choice is option D. Here is the next one. Question number 11 on the screen for you. पिछले क्वेश्चन में अभी जाकर के देख लेते हैं आर राजपूताना, और नितिन ने कहाँ पूछा है भाई बी, मेरे को तो ऐसा कोई मैसेज दिखा भी नहीं इधर। ओके, सो हियर ए says and therefore finally declaring the species extinct, therefore tells you it is a conclusion, but how would this conclusion follow from the rest of the sentence? So that's logically a problem. Who was the first people? So you either say who were the first people or who was the first person. This is otherwise grammatically inconsistent, so that's wrong. The Manoharan burrowing frog has been named after T.M. Manoharan without having any resounding effect on the food chain. How are they logically connected? So let's eliminate. However, plundering the future of the rare species of the frog. Now you notice there is a comma here. Now why am I talking about this? However is an adverb. It is not a conjunction, which means that whenever you use however, you need to put either a full stop or a semicolon before it. It cannot act as a conjunction. It cannot go on and join two different ideas together. Right? And therefore, I'd say this is something that can be missed out, that can be eliminated. And because A, B, C and D all are eliminated, what are we left with? Option E, none of the above. So that's what I brought for you today. And once again, a reminder that our window for All India Maharashtra CT Open Mock is open. The mock is live. If you have not attempted it so far, please go ahead and do it at the earliest. Besides, we have this fabulous course. In case you think you need extra help outside of these sessions, you can definitely think of joining it. It's a very attractively priced course as well. I don't think we actually even thought of pricing it this low, but then this did happen. And in case, and here is one help that I need from you. In case you know of people who are thinking of preparing for CAT 24, can you please tell them about this? So there's a scholarship test that we are conducting in a few days from now, and that can help them get up to 90% off on the course fee, which is already pretty competitive. So do me that favor and do share this with others. And from today onwards, we are starting our last lab to Maharashtra MBA CET series, where you will see 10 sessions taking place at 7 p.m. most of the days, not every day, but most of the days. In fact, I will meet you tomorrow at 7 p.m. with RCs. So you'd have, of course, another session today. So do attend that series as well in order to get that extra practice. So that's it from me. If you need to reach out to us, use any of these platforms and we'd love to help you. Until we meet next, stay safe, stay focused, stay in touch, and don't forget to like the video, okay? Take care.